in here.
Oh.
Yep.
Stream exists.
Yep. And now I don't care. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is I'm streaming to the UK server because that's one of the few ones that's actually up.
I guess Quiz must have been streaming to that different one too then.
Well, he's been streaming for a few hours.
Okay.
So, and I had noticed was checking through their things and I noticed their Twitch had put out a tweet saying we're aware of the streaming issue 13 minutes ago. So I think it's a very recent thing. Like, hey, people can't start new streams. Gonna finish promoting it. Alright. Oh, that's a video not. So anyway, for Teen Down last week, you may notice on my save file that I have all the hearts and all the B-sides. I didn't want to follow a guide on stream to get to the new stuff, so I went and collected all those off screen, and to get the other hearts, I have to beat the B-sides, which is harder versions of the main levels. So, I said I wasn't going to do these, but bike time. And I'm not exactly sure how long the B-sides are, but I assume that they're not as long as the main levels. Now, my main issue is gonna be making sure that I don't momentum fling myself into the spikes.
Good luck with that.
It's going well so far. Oh. How about that? So that's what I'm supposed to do. That seems difficult. Oh, there's definitely something there. I'm not going back for it. No.
Are you supposed to grab it from the other side and get launched that way?
Maybe.
I mean, probably you'll have to launch first and then
So,
catch it on the flip side.
as long as I just dash up there, right? The thing is when when I'm glowing red, instead it means I can't hold on anymore.
Oh, it means you're out of wall.
Yeah.
Because you're not hitting ground between
Yeah.
these, so it's not setting.
I think what the time is, I have 5 seconds of wall hold total between ground steps. There we go.
Can you not just dash up there? Oh. Oh, I suppose that would be too easy, huh?
Yeah. If there's hey, wouldn't it be easier to do it this way? There's probably a spike there. I probably do have to actually write it out. Hello, Mola guy. We're doing B-sides. Even though I said I wouldn't do them, but it turns out I need to do them to get the true ending of the game. Hey. Oh boy. Look at that.
You just do it in a much easier way.
No. No, it's the next screen. I'm just trying to figure out... Basically... Hey, B-side Boco here. Wait, 1 second. Oh, that is probably what I have to do.
Use the momentum to like go up.
Oh, that wasn't what I was thinking. I was... I'm trying to think.
I noticed there wasn't spikes on that other side.
I think. Okay, yeah, that's probably what I have to do. Basically, I have to rush over there and get it and like ride it to this under part. And
Oh, is it because there's an open window and that'll take you to the backside?
yeah, the B-sides are the same levels. With lives, I could probably, depending on the amount of lives, I could probably do some of the early ones. Yeah, so like that MD, yeah, the middle part, because I can go through the bit. And I believe I can crouch under there. I also did learn some new some new tech while I was doing this stuff, but it's not particularly useful.
Did you learn how to do that speed jump you just did to death so
many Yes.
times?
That is what I learned. I think it makes me look it's very neat, but I can't use it here. I've learned new technology, yes. Speed tech that I'm not gonna use. I think I have to fast drop in there. I wonder, actually. No. Oh no! Okay. I didn't expect to do it that time. But then I have to...
You have to, like, do something to get in that open window?
No, so what it is, in that bit, so I have to boost up over, land in that, like, 1 block wide hole, run to the middle, then get launched up out that bit in the middle with the wooden spikes on it, because I can go up through that without dying.
Ah. And then you have to use that to boost over.
Yeah, I'll boost me up, and it will refill my dash. So I can launch out of that. And then I can use that to get to the next screen.
Like, I can understand all of this on a technical level, but I'm sure execution I absolutely could not do.
It just takes time.
Who's got time?
I have about 2 hours. Well, and a half now, depending. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna go because of the awesome Twitch servers being down. I mean, I'm honestly surprised I'm not dropping frames streaming to the UK. And to be fair, I also have streamed while playing on UK servers, so I guess it's not too big of a surprise. Why do the spikes not hurt you from below? Who knows? Because I'm jumping in between them? I don't know.
I don't have answers.
2D hard game physics. Wonder if it's more of a... Why, so, Molokai, basically, if the reason the stream was late was I was ready to go at 11:01, and, so I go to hit the start stream button, and it says, can't find servers, like, and I spent like 10 minutes looking for a solution. Like, wait, I wonder if there's something up with the Twitch servers because of the national emergency or whatever. And I go to this website that tells you, like, what the stats of the servers are. And every single US server for Twitch is down. The only ones that were up are ones in in Europe and in South America. I was like, I'm not streaming to South America because, one, it says that the servers are depreciated, so I assume that means something bad. Okay, I don't even need to race back there. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'll find the closest one, which I believe is the London one, which is what I'm streaming to. And stream to that. And so far, it seems to be working. Now time my jumps there, right? Yeah, there is a national emergency. How about that? But I still gotta work.
So do I.
Can't wait for that hazard pay that they're not gonna give us.
Yeah, no, fuck no. What do you mean?
Hey, Molo guy. How's that make you feel? No, I washed my hands right before this. It's fine. No, but since people have been saying that, I've become very aware of how often I touch my face, and it's a lot.
Literally all the time.
It's a lot.
I wear glasses. I wear glasses. Like, I touch my face all the time, just by consequence, when my glasses need to be adjusted.
There we go. Oh, I need to save that. Okay. Okay. Can I even storm them? Oh, I can! That's absolutely whack and not how physics works, but okay. Okay. It's gonna be just like that bit from the I Wanna Be the Guy stage, and now I'm gonna try doing something stupid. That's totally something you could do, I think. I'm not gonna try for that because that's dumb. Have you played Ori and the Blind Forest? No, I have not. I know the new one just came out. I've seen a dude in one of the servers I'm in talking about it, and he's really digging it. Yeah, the new one came out. Will of the Wisps, I think, is what the name of it is.
Subtitle.
Yeah, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Play on the word Will of the Wisp. Okay, so yeah, let's just use the dash there. I think they replaced the checkpoint system. Was the checkpoint system bad in the first one? I haven't played it either. I don't know if I might own it. I'm not certain. To be fair, I say that about like every game. Because I've almost hit 1,000 on Steam. Speaking of games I own, I'm not sure when, but I do have a new game I kind of want to do just like a one-off on. Because I own Planet Coaster now. And that's definitely not something I can do as a series. Yeah, make bad roller coaster. Because I don't think I could get much more than like the 2 hours out of that, if that. I've always been bad at Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like, when I played that when I was a kid, I never made any roller coasters because I didn't understand the system. So I just built like the pre-built rides. Never built my own. So I was bad at it, and I was also like, I don't know, 7? I'm not sure how old I was. Young enough. Yeah, that's an interesting idea for a checkpoint system, but also can kind of go bad. Oh no. Kind of like how, or not really, but basically in Shovel Knight, a game I haven't played, you can choose to break checkpoints for more money. So you can't use them, but you get currency.
If you're feeling very confident, the thing I've never felt in my life.
And I definitely would feel confident in those games because they're basically Mega Man likes, and I'm bad at those. Oh wait, this is the part I needed to dash for. Good thing I didn't use it. I was like, wait a second, I can do this without dashing. What is this? Okay, I see what I've got to do. These are really pushing my charges on how long I can hold to the limit. Let's see. Oh no. I'm not certain how I'm going to do that. I have some ideas. That's going to be tight. No, I did it wrong. Well, it's not a long game, so you could probably complete it in a few streams. I know the first one was a Metroidvania. I'm assuming this one is also. No! I'd have to think about it, because I do want to go, once I get through this, I do want to get through Plague Tale, because I'm very interested in that game. I just haven't had time to go back to, because I do very much enjoy Celeste. Thank you for the host, Mullah guy. Don't like corner jumps. That's a real tight one there. Basically, the thing is, I want to get to that first one, get it to go down. That's an idea. Not worth it, though. I should probably be letting go of the grab button, so that doesn't happen. I have taken thought to what I'm going to do after this and Plague Tale and Mega Man. But I think I'll still be doing this for a while because, like, it's going to take me a few streams to get all the Crystal Hearts to go back and finish Arrival or whatever the last chapter is called. And I looked at that and I'm only halfway through that chapter. I thought, like, maybe they're like just blocking me up from like the last 1 or 2 checkpoints. No. I'm only halfway done. Because that chapter is like 9 checkpoints long or something, I think. I was like, hey, I just did a room of only dying once.
Proud of you.
Yeah, I'm real good at video games.
My gamer wife is so powerful.
Let me tell you how I used to have the world record in a few video games.
I mean, I know this.
I'll tell you again, though. Like, so my calls classes got cancelled next week, and after that they're going to be online. Calls classes? Do you mean calc? That's the only thing I can get from that. No! I didn't mean to demo dash.
I'm sorry, did you say Dimodash?
Demo dash is the name of this crouch jump. It's called demo dashing. Oh, your college classes, okay. Yeah, so like all of my classes, which were all already all online, is like, okay, nothing's changed. Welcome to my world, where I have to do everything without, just like on my own without any help.
Will help, yeah.
I still don't understand the phases of the Earth. Please help. That, but the main issue that's caused from like these cancellations is, so I'm supposed to attend a symphony and write like, I keep wanting to say a dissertation, but that's not what it is. But they want me to write something on a symphony, because my music class is very much based around classical music. So I booked tickets for a local symphony for $35. It was going to be tomorrow. The theater it's in is now closed. Is now closed for the entire month. And I don't believe there are any more symphonies in the area that are like feasible for me to go to without wasting too much time. So I'm going to have to email my professor and be like, hey, so how about that? How about that plague? So, speaking of plagues, so we have like our like little class discussion things, and my professor specifically gave me like a bonus point for writing a good thing on why the Black Plague caused less religious music. I was like, hey, you know about how I wrote about the plagues, right? So, the plague has canceled my music.
I was really looking forward to that symphony.
Yes, I wasn't really. I'm also kind of upset, because I've only just found out that there was a Final Fantasy symphony, like, somewhat local. It's like, man, I would have gone to that. I love Final Fantasy music, and that definitely would not have counted for my class. Because he's like, no, it has to be, like, from, like, the Romantic period, or Classical period, or Baroque period. That's not Final Fantasy, unfortunately. Let me tell you about the Baroque period of Final Fantasy. Listen, Professor, it's really important. You gotta play Final Fantasy VI, the best RPG ever made other than Chrono Trigger. Speaking of best RPGs ever made.
Is 6 the one a lot of people don't like?
No, 6 is the one that basically, if you're talking to like an quote-unquote older Final Fantasy fan, they will say it's either 6 or 7 are those two most loved ones. Hello, J-Chip. I'm talking about the Baroque period of Final Fantasy and why Final Fantasy VI is the best one. So, but, like, the thing is, like, 7 and 6 are, like, the most, like, commonly said, hey, these are the best ones. And after that, it just gets real muddy on, like, which one people like the best. Personally, I'm not, like, super into Final Fantasy VII. Which I believe I've talked to you about before. Oh, I just really like Final Fantasy VI. It's cool stuff. Has an evil clown in it. Great. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do there. Also, like, Final Fantasy VI actually kind of has, like, Final Fantasy VI has, like, a very prototypical version of materia in it, which is kind of neat. But it's not even specifically for summons, but that is a lot of it. And it doesn't get introduced until, like, halfway through the game. Yeah, but I'm gonna level with you guys. I don't really like any of the characters in Final Fantasy VII. Like, at least by, like, party members.
Wow, rude.
And this, also to be fair, I haven't played very much of Final Fantasy VII. I watched the entire LP that you did though.
I was gonna say, weren't you on that? Or you actually...
No, I was just in the chat for almost every single one. Because I just really like Final Fantasy. That's what I'm supposed to do? Okay. Okay. I did watch a video on the Final Fantasy VII remake, a good like in-depth video on the demo because I haven't played it and I wasn't planning on playing the demo because I'm sure it's like a 40 gigabyte download or something, and I barely play my PS4 as is. But honestly, I'm just surprised by how good the demo is. Oh. I'm supposed to hop on the opposite side of that. Like, I'm trying to think what one you were thinking of that was the one that people don't like. Because, like, the one that's almost universally disliked is 13. Because it was, like, a full departure from, like, active time battle systems. Because they got a little bit farther away from it with 10, but was still pretty close. Then there was 12, because 11 was an MMO. 12, which was... even further away from it, but it's still like, it's okay, but it had Vaughn in it, so it's bad. Just get it. I just don't like Vaughn, and he's really bad Vest. I hate him so much. Game's fine, though, but it's been a long time since I played it. It has big bunny ladies in it, so... I'm sure that's doing something for somebody. The Vera are cool. See, yeah, then it got to 13, which I've played a little bit of, and I believe I definitely do own it on my computer and my PS3. Did not get very far in it on either of them. On, initially when it came out on PC, they had messed up and did not compress the cutscenes, so it was 100 gigabytes. Supposedly that's been fixed and the game's size went down by like 30 gigabytes. But still, I don't think I'll ever play 13. Unless I do a thing where I stream through all the Final Fantasy games, like... Which is probably something I'll do at some point, because I would like to play all of them. Because I love Final Fantasy. I just haven't played all of them. Or... I don't think... Okay... This is going to be a weird thing for how much I love Final Fantasy. I don't think I've ever finished a Final Fantasy game. Because of various circumstances. Like, so like, I got to the final area of Final Fantasy X. Then my brother sold his PS2. Which is what I was playing on.
Right.
I think I believe, that happened again, but on the PS3. But I think what I'm going to do there is... I'm going to just dash up instead of trying to land on the other side. See, then... I'm trying to think. I got into... I'm not sure how far it was because I don't know. But I got like 70 to 90% of the way through 6, my favorite Final Fantasy. Didn't finish it. Also, I was following a Game Facts guide because some of those older ones are kind of hard to figure out what you're supposed to do. Speaking of PS4 games. Oh, is it out on Steam now? I knew like they announced that it was coming out on PC. I didn't know it was out this soon. Like, I mean, I guess... people who really want to play Breath of the Wild have a game to play now. I've seen a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn, but from what I understand, it was a pretty good game. But it once just got eaten really badly by Zelda. Like, my main concern with going through all the Final Fantasy games is specifically Final Fantasies 1 through 3, because those are definitely, they're incredibly rough. Basically, with Final Fantasy 1, which I got to the final dungeon of, is like, basically, when it came, I was like, just figure out where you're going. I'm not telling you. After the first dungeon. Like, and I'd probably be playing the GBA or the PSP remakes for that one. But, like, like, that, and they're incredibly grindy. Because they're old NES RPG. And that's where the, like, a lot of the gameplay came from for a game like that.
Adding out that run time.
No! Aw, man.
Oh, rip. Did you just get all the way to the top of that screen and then fall all the way back down?
I got to the top and then realized I needed a dash. Which I had used earlier. There we go. Hey! I was said to go to the parish to harm the crime. Oh, this is the last screen. Is that people are being angry that people are going to play the game. Yeah, I think I heard about that. Why are you mad that people can play a video game? That's small weenie energy. I'm not sure what else to call it. Imagine...
Oh, you know what? I think I know what it was. I think it was originally a PS4 exclusive, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I understand.
So people that bought it on the PS4 are pissed that other people can play it now, I guess.
Yeah. That's so petty. Gamers, man. And it's been so long since it came out.
It's been at least a few years, I feel like.
It was around the same time that Breath of the Wild came out. Oh. Because I remember, like, my favorite, like, Let's Player when I was in, like, high school was still making content when they came out. Hey, there we go. Cover the skyline. Put your bets in for how many deaths I got.
I bet it's a lot.
292. Oh yeah, so something the guy who did the video I watched on the Final Fantasy VII demo today is like, so when you, at least for Barret, when you finish a battle, he has a very small chance of singing the victory theme.
Just Cloud does?
No, Barret. Which is even more. Yes.
That's even better.
Yeah, that has a very small chance of humming the.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I think that's a great. Very great detail. And the guy says, like, I hope this means that all characters will have a chance to do that. Jump. Oh, okay. He means I could jump out of there. So he's teaching me this new thing, which means I can jump out of these. Mario Party and PC. It won't be Mario Party, but I could see like, oh, like I don't want to say bootleg Mario Party, but like a Mario Party stand-in by someone who probably understands it better than Nintendo does, because they don't seem to know what people quote like about Mario Party. Like the closest we got is, as far as I'm aware, is 100% orange juice.
100% orange juice has none of the things I like about Mario Party.
Do you like Mario Party?
I do. We've just never played
Because we don't want to be... Because our get mad at each other game is Smash Brothers.
Yeah, we get pissed off enough at each other playing Smash Bros. That Mario Party would actually lose.
Oh, yeah.
It's never a permanent state of mad, but it is a concerning state of mad.
No, I've been thinking about making a post about Smash Brothers. Oh, that's in the background for a while. I was like, I don't get competitive at games, me playing Smash Brothers.
Why is everyone so mean to me?
Maybe you should get good, babe.
Why are you all ganging up on me? I'm mocking you.
The thing is, you also do this.
Yeah, I know. What's your point?
Gays in glass houses shouldn't throw glass stones.
What? You want to try that again?
No. Oh. Adeline is being mean. Oh, guy, what would you think about so you know how Nintendo's in the mobile market. How bad do you think a mobile Mario Party would be?
Terrible.
That's what I figured as well, but I thought I'd propose the question. How do you think that would work?
Well, I imagine a lot of the games would be like touchscreen based, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no like, I don't think gyroscopes in phones are
Right?
so universal.
Oh, that's... Yeah, because, like, the thing is, like... So let's say they actually make a good decision and decide to make it controller compatible, because some phones are controller compatible. How much of the issues would you assuage from that?
Asking me?
Yes.
I don't know. Sub?
But I think the real issue would be just like how long a game takes, and that's just not gonna last on a phone. Do you think something like a I'm not sure how, like Mario Party by mail? How would that be? Where am I going? Oh, duh, I'm going up.
Oh, is this one of those things like if she touches you, she kills you or something?
Yeah, do you remember Cosmic Mario in Mario Galaxy?
Sort of?
Yeah, so it's like that. Basically, she follows your moves, but like a few seconds behind. Yeah, since you weren't there when I streamed Celeste the first time, and so you didn't see the battle line challenge. Yeah, exactly, Molga. I was thinking of the free to play like premium stuff. Which just reminds me of $37 for a Diddy Kong or whatever the thing was in Mario Kart Tour. Which is absolutely wild. I could definitely see characters as microtransactions. A little bit less on boards, but I could see it. Yeah, now I'm thinking, like, what other big IPs do they really have left to tap for, like, their mobile things? Because they've already done Fire Emblem, and they've already done... Oh my... and they've done Mario Kart, which apparently is doing well. Even though they've got, like, the egregious $37 for Diddy Kong in it. Dr. Mario did horrible. And I don't think Animal Crossing did very well either.
I mean, there's a lot of people who still play Pocket Camp.
Really? Okay. I just haven't...
I at least know a lot of my friends still play Pocket Camp.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen anything for Pocket Camp on Twitter or whatever, which is my, like, main thing for,
That's like your metric, basically.
Yeah, so if I see artists talking about it on where it's like, okay, so doing okay. That, like, I have seen numbers, like the numbers, and I know Dr. Mario is definitely the lowest one. Have they done Zelda? No, as far as I'm aware. Because I don't know what they could do with for Zelda, like, in a multiplayer sense. Do you think they'd do a, like, a Fire Emblem Heroes type thing for Zelda?
Because Zelda's primarily a series.
Yeah.
I don't know how that becomes a mobile game necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, because I don't see an easy way to adapt it to a mobile market, because it's primarily a single-player game. Oh yeah, I did forget about Mario Run. That did exist, and I think it did pretty well. Oh. Oh boy, what am I doing here? No! I did see a tweet, like, kind of jumping topics the other day. It's like, oh man, I keep thinking these coronavirus updates are announcements for for a new Mario Galaxy. It's like, you know, yeah, I could go for a re-release of the Mario Galaxies. Those are good games. I never played the second one. Yeah, I've considered F-Zero, but they also seem to actively refuse to do anything with F-Zero. Okay, that's it. Uh-oh. That's why I give them license to a random developer for an underwhelming... Yeah. I guess.
So does dashing through water give you back your dash?
Yes, I receive a new dash after I come out of the... whatever these are.
The galactic goo.
Yeah. Dash in there. Yeah, so... So I don't remember if this is in the dream sequence or not. Okay, there we go. Well, unfortunately, if you dash into a wall while in the Galactic Goo, you will die.
Well, it'd be like that.
Be like that sometimes. You can also...
I'm assuming, like, you drown in it, basically.
Yeah, assuming it's water.
Or some kind of liquid.
Yeah. Well, the thing I'm messing up on right now is that on the last of the tall boys over there on the right, I need to jump out of it to get my extra distance.
That's not gonna work. Trying to find a good place to put the title on this thumbnail that I just finished.
Which one?
The one for episode 5 of Maple Grove.
Which one?
That's the one where y'all fight the siren.
Ah. Put it on the Siren's t-shirt.
No. She wasn't wearing a t-shirt, first of all.
Ah.
She was wearing a dress. Good try, though.
Is that where I'm supposed to do it? Well, really, Moloch, if they really wanted to upset people, they'd release a mobile, like, Earthbound, a mobile Earthbound game. And make it really bad. Oh.
I can actually scoot her over a little bit. Okay, I have enough room. There we go.
Hello, Essie. Welcome to the B-side stream. Streaming to UK servers. Because the American Twitch servers are down. We've been most recent topic of conversation is how will Nintendo upset its fans by making a mobile version of their favorite game that hasn't had a game in 20 years. No. Now I'm wondering if I don't really see them doing anything with Pikmin like at all. Because that's just kind of done, right? Yeah, we have spoken. We have specifically spoken about F-Zero and Earthbound because those fans are incredibly rabid for anything, and I feel like a mobile game would just be like insult to injury. But I did think about Metroid, but I didn't say it. I was thinking if they did a Metroid mobile game, it would probably just be like a first-person arena shooter, right? Because that's what they did with, what was it? Hunters on the DS, I think? Didn't check out. Yeah. I remember playing that on a demo station in Walmart. That's all I remember of it. I don't remember anything of the game. I know I played it. I didn't understand how to play it because I was still at the age where I didn't understand first-person controls. Which was a very long point in my life.
Ongoing,
Oh,
some might say.
yeah. I understand them much better than I did when I was like 10 or whatever. Excite Bike or New Kid Icarus game? I could see Excite Bike being just like a thing they stick in Mario Kart Tour. Or Kid Icarus. I have no idea what they do with a mobile Kid Icarus game. Because I know a lot of people are clamoring for an Uprising like port or remake, which I'd be down for. Kid Icarus has cool ideas, and the Eggplant Wizard, an on-rail shooter, kind of like a new Sin and Punishment game they made for the the most recent Sin and Punishment game for the Wii. Which people only really knew of because of, or cared about because the Sin and Punishment Assist trophy in Brawl. Oh no! I'm just a Zelda-style puzzle game. Yeah, we were talking about Zelda, but we couldn't really think of something that they could monetize easily, because that's probably one of the key components of their mobile games, is the monetization. Yeah, so we couldn't figure a good way for them to easily monetize a Zelda game because Zelda is primarily single player or things like that. Puzzle game yeah, so yeah, now that you've said that, I was thinking if it was like something akin to Candy Crush, you could just buy more like retries or hints or whatever. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, if you did I don't know why, but I'm like seeing a puzzle box like game in my mind, even though that's probably not something Nintendo would do, because that would be cool and neat. And I just like puzzle box. I just like puzzle box games, like the Room games. Even though some of like later in the Room it does get kind of bad, where it's just like hunt for the place to click, which is not good game design, by the way. Right. Rhythm Heaven on mobile drives many people up a wall. I actually haven't played any of the Rhythm Heaven games. I'm only aware of that one with the dude. The interviewer one. Tiki Tiki Teska. That one.
Oh, is that true? Go, big guy.
There we go. Okay, that's what it is. Oh, so I just have to do a quick input. Okay. Because Rhythm Heaven was on the Wii and the DS, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't ask me questions about things.
Okay,
Did I just fucking import the exact same image?
it's possible. Sounds like something you do. Super Mario RPG would upset so many people. Ah, I can finally see my childhood favorite edge hero.
I forgot to actually export that. That's what happened.
Are they... Actually, that does make me wonder. Are they just, like, done with the Mario and Luigi, like, RPGs? Because the last one that came out was a re-release.
I know that studio shut down.
Oh, yeah, it did, didn't it? I forgot about that. Shouldn't have done that. That's unfortunate. Because, like I was saying earlier, they've hit most of their big cash cow series.
Super Mario RPG is a gacha game.
Like I said, that would upset so many people, but it'll also definitely make money. I actually haven't played.
What are those things you have to activate?
They are locks. They unlock the lock block.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, see? Yeah, it's the locks. They open the lock back.
I finished another thumbnail.
Nice. Rocket Slime was on DS, right?
Oh, no.
I know, this was before you cared about Dragon Quest.
Correct.
I don't know what, like, Rocket Slime was. I vaguely remember seeing it in... probably Game Informer? It's most likely a place I saw it, because I don't think I got Nintendo Power when that game came out. want to die. Your slime, you can have a robot base and fight your other monsters with their robot base. That's a perfect adaptation for a mobile game. Actually, it sounds more like one of those Facebook games from like early 2010s.
If we're talking about Facebook games, I played Restaurant City for a very long time. I played Restaurant City to the extent that I had a fucking, I made a second account so I could like gift myself stuff in Restaurant City.
Got a problem there, babe.
I did. No longer.
The restaurant is gone.
I wonder if that game even still exists and what my restaurant even looks like. I don't remember any of the fucking gameplay. That shit was so long ago.
Yeah, because, like, I remember, I think it was, like, Backyard Monsters was the one I played. Which was, like...
Was it basically, like, not Pokemon?
No, actually, it was, like, a tower defense thing. And basically, you could come in and attack other people's backyards. And it's like, hey, how'd you build your thing? Did you build it good? So another thing I've just remembered to think about, like, old games I used to play. Are you aware of, I think it was Evany Online, I think is what it was called? It was that game that had all the boob ads on a lot of websites. Like the "Come My Lord, Your Kingdom Awaits" or whatever.
Right. Hey,
yeah.
You know, a lot of those games are actually just very boring, like, base building games that aren't good.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I played the booby game for a while. There's no nudity in it. There's nothing fun in it. The thing is, I didn't even play
It's literally just a fucking boring base builder with
yeah.
microtransactions.
It actually didn't have as far as I'm aware, it didn't have microtransactions when I played it.
I've seen one or two that do, but they're all basically the same.
Yeah. Yeah, those Facebook games are basically all the same like that, yeah. Because let's see, I'm trying to remember. I played My Sims, I think was the name of the Facebook version of Sims. Not good, because basically it is, hey, you drag your Facebook friends into playing this garbage game we put on here? Yes? You get 12 of them to play, you'll get a piece of grass. Like, I've played quite a few of those games, and it turns out they're all just the same thing. It's just the same gameplay with a themed skin on it. Pokemon Snap with the regular use items are limited and require money to get more of. Yeah, that works. Oh. It's absolutely wild to me that they never made a re-release of Pokemon Snap for the Wii U. Because that thing is basically tailor-built for that game.
You gotta stop dashing into that rock and just destroying yourself.
No.
Wow. Holy shit.
What?
The fucking precision with which you did that. Oh.
That's this game, is you gotta be precise or you'll die. Aww. So, okay. Yeah. I'm less mad about it not being on the Switch because it's not tailor built for this, like, pod experience, but like legit, it just has the like it has everything you need. The Wii U had everything you needed for that, and you didn't.
I know, like, we're just goofing here, right?
Yeah.
But, like, it genuinely, like, I don't understand why some people are mad about some things, like, as if... I would get it if there had been, like, some sort of indication, like, yep, this is a thing we might release, but there almost never is when people are legitimately upset about it.
Like, personally, I want a HD release of Mario Sunshine. But there's been no indication anything like that is coming.
I don't know if they've ever. I don't know that they've ever re-released a Mario game other than Super Mario Brothers Deluxe.
Mario 64 DS.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
And honestly, I'm surprised they have not re-released 3D World.
Well, Odyssey was the.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that they
didn't make a 2D one, which is why I wasn't super, like, confused by that.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a 2D game on this console. This looks really hard.
It's just it's just timing. I'm just not good at it. No, it's just the main thing is that if you're inside the block, it does not click.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, would it be easier to wall jump?
Yeah. It's much faster. No!
You have to dash through the heart to break
Yes.
it.
But if you do touch the heart, it does refill your dash. Hardest part of the game. This one section.
Like, there's not even anything threatening here, it's just this.
Yeah. It's like that one bit in the break the targets in Melee, where you start out as Young Link, but to get out of the hole, you gotta learn the wall jump. Which is a thing the game never teaches you. I guess if you're like grinding out the targets, you just learn to do this, like.
Or if you just play the game enough and know that you can wall jump.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm honestly not certain if it was in the
Like, there's a lot of stuff even in Ultimate that, like, even if you play through the, like, game guide, it doesn't necessarily tell you. You just gotta kind of figure it out intuitively, or from other people.
Yeah. So now that I think about it, I'm not certain if it's like even in like the manual or anything. There we go. Black Moonrise. Time to guess how many deaths I had. I feel like that one wasn't as bad. 34. 34. Not just 34 flat. That'd be wild. Celestial Resort. Good Karma Remix. Nah, I'm just trying to be cool.
GG.
There is a stage in here that does require you to use that. But it's not until like chapter 8, I think, where they teach you that thing. Because they do teach you new tech in the B-sides.
Ah, so close.
Wait a second.
Good, no jumps.
Okay, there's a new thing.
Rip.
Don't like this room already.
Is it the stuff that grows?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, plasma.
Press button when I was platforming. I mean, like, I couldn't do this if that's what you're asking. Is it just... Okay, so is it taking a second to spawn in, or is it, like, when you leave the platform is when it
Let's see. It is as soon as I leave the platform.
So you can stay there for as long as you want, you just can't go back.
Yeah. But the thing I'm more worried about is my my hang.
Able to hold on to things,
Yeah, because I've just finished going through this section. But I'm not sure if it's climbing that drains it or just using it.
Just holding it.
Yeah. If
Looks like you should have enough to get to that next, like, goo.
I definitely do have enough to get there. It's just me worried about getting the timing right.
Right.
Didn't want to do that. I wonder if that's what it wants me to do. That's definitely a thing I could do. That might be it. And then I should have enough hang time to decide if I wanna... I just let go of the button there. Okay, I just didn't hit it that time. Nice. Yeah. So I definitely do need to do the dash over because I'm turning red on that one. I might even be able to skip that one before it. I'm feeling dangerous anyway.
Need to find the optimal number of jumps.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm always in a hurry to move because I know these things are gonna pop out once I leave. I just walked off that time. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I asked about those, like, growing.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know whether or not you did have the time.
Yeah, like, I thought I had to just be going quick, but because I never bothered to test them.
This is why you have me. I tested you. I may not be a pro gamer, but I asked the question.
Do those spikes kill you?
Okay, well, that one is obvious enough that I don't need to, but it wasn't because you were leaving those platforms so quickly. It wasn't clear to me whether they were growing in response to you or whether it was just time.
Nah, it's definitely in response to me. Ah.
Jump right into it.
Ah. Really close. I've always hated, like, these orbiting, like, damage zones in, like, every platformer. I don't like using them when I make levels and things like Marty Maker. They feel mean. They just put spikes everywhere. So like I watched the GDQ runs for Celeste, which specifically the main, like the first 6 chapters, I think. The main part of the game that I've beaten already. And movement in Celeste is actually crazy. It's like, maybe I can learn this game when I'm done. I watched this like, I'm not learning this game when I'm done. Because it's basically a bunch of task tricks at this point for high level play. Which is something I'm not learning to do because I'm not going to count individual frames. That's crazy talk. I can probably do that. Like, I just have this feeling like every time I discover like a thing I can do that I can probably cut time off as like, I'm probably supposed to do that. But I don't want to. Because it's hard.
So something I've noticed watching this is
Mhm.
that it's frustrating in a way that I can't quantify, right?
Yeah.
Because I see you messing up stuff, and I'm like, why don't you just not do it that way? But I know had I been playing, I would not have even gotten to this point. So like, I know that's a stupid instinct,
Yeah.
but I still feel it.
Something looking easier than it actually is to perform.
Yeah.
Since you don't actually know how the game handles.
Nope.
I get that, because that's like a thing I have when I'm watching stuff like how to play this scale running music, or how's this solo work. Like, that doesn't look too bad, and then I realize when I go to try it myself.
I don't understand the core mechanics of this.
I didn't realize that I had to do these like 30-second notes or whatever. I didn't realize it's not butter. I've actually never had I can't believe it's not butter.
We have it at work, it's fine.
Is it not butter?
I mean, no.
Okay. No false advertising.
I think it's margarine, but I haven't noticed a taste difference, if that's what you're asking me.
I wasn't, but as long as it isn't butter. Yeah, because like we had it at my old my old job, which was I worked frozen food and dairy, so I did interact with I can't believe it's not butter on a regular basis. I think I need a duck. No, I had.
Almost certainly need a dash there.
Yeah, that's what I think. Is like, can I get there without using one?
I don't think so.
It's like I became aware of.
You know, so I was trying to think of what I was gonna do for the next thumbnail, and then I realized that the way I described the like opening of that next chapter, right, was with the like bloody mask.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
Just a fucking mask and a pool of blood.
Spooky.
I don't know if you see the one I just finished.
No, I haven't. Ah. I will check it after the stream's over. I really have been liking like the minimalist shading style he's been doing for the thumbnails. I like minimalism. It's cool. I don't think I can do that without a dash. From that center bit to the other side. Actually, I think I see what I'm doing. Or if I can just like let go and fall and then twist to the other side. So I had someone come into my job the other day insisting that he buys no, the point I'm getting to is, do you actually use a mouse pad?
Me? Yes.
Why?
because I have one.
I see.
Also because my desk is, I believe, too reflective for the laser mouse to actually work out.
Okay, that's fair. Because I haven't used a mouse pad in like 13 years, probably. It's been a very long time since I've used a mouse pad. I've never used one in this house. I can tell you that much. No, I didn't use one on the laptop I used to play like Garry's Mod when I was 13. Oh, I actually have a... I don't know what type of wood my in-wall desk is, but like, I have no problems with it. Yeah, so like, yeah. Oh, let's see. If I go through like the computers I've used, there's our old original XP that we did have a mouse pad for. I specifically remember it being a mouse pad for the Christian school that I went to. for the 1 year, for the half of year I've had of like real schooling. So after that, let's see. Then around when I was 13, I started playing PC games on my mom's laptop, and that did not use a mouse pad for, because it was a laptop. And a lot of that was done on like a TV tray or on the floor. Then after that, when we got a computer that could actually play a little bit, I used that. I don't think we had a mouse pad for that. Then I got my laptop for my 16th birthday, which I didn't use a mouse pad for. And then I bought this computer that I don't use a mouse pad for. I don't know what I'd have to do. What I would have to do to make me get a mouse pad. Then I don't know what I would buy. What type of mouse pad I would buy. Because my wooden desk here is very nice. Thankfully, because I have no idea how I would go about replacing a desk that is built into a wall. I don't know why I used my dash. I know I need it to clear. There we go. I did not need a dash for that last bit. Let me learn the height of this. Like, I know when I moved out of here, I am, if like I need one, I would be like be tempted to buy one of those booby mouse pads because they're kind of funny as a prop. Also, supposedly, I've heard they're actually pretty good.
I mean, it's ergonomic.
Boobanomic. And now I'm just thinking of that, like, incredibly large one we saw at SoccerCon last year.
The Alberto one that we took pictures of to show you, though.
Yeah. Because I still...
Fairly ridiculous.
Yeah, because that one was like $100. Because I still have that picture. It's in my SoccerCon folder. Oh my. Oh no.
You have no dash.
Yeah, I have no dash.
Ooh.
For me, Boo Boo the fool. Real kicker is this dude at the bottom, who's... The time he moves is really odd.
He doesn't move in time with the other platform now.
Yeah.
Just being a real bastard.
Oh, I forgot there's a dude there too. There's no safe spot for me.
Nope. Gotta stay on your toes. Well, that time you just didn't have a jump at the bottom.
Should have dashed to the right.
Should have dashed not straight into the thing, yeah, probably.
No! Should have dashed to the left that time. There we go. Okay, I think I can do that without getting a third dash. Woo!
Oh, hey, you're in the next room.
Eat.
Oh, they follow the platform. That's
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is like, do they follow my platform?
Seems that way.
No.
So you can't let it get too low or you'll just die.
Yeah. I'm not sure. There, you can see a track in the background. Yeah, that definitely just goes off string.
I meant more like if you stay on it too long, you won't be able to reach the next one.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to duck.
No, you just can't jump. Ducking seems to make the platform go down faster also, which is not great.
Yeah. But I don't have to worry about dodging it if I just stand perfectly still on the platform. So it's just when I'm leaving is is when I have to worry. Ah. Just played too long that one. But, like, I have a timing down for the first two, but the last one is more difficult because of this thing. Ah. Wait. That's probably the problem. Ah. At least I made it through there.
trying to get to a stopping point yet?
Yeah, I'm thinking when I finish this, this one, I'll be done. Because I'm very close to the end. I'm guessing by the amount of checkpoints I've hit. Wait a second. Wait. Oh, okay, that's where I'm supposed to use it. Oh.
Wow, get absolutely dunked on.
Now that you said that, I've made it to the next room. Which doesn't seem too bad.
You say dying in the same place thrice.
Hush.
So I see that those towels and shit like shift around a little bit. Does that actually affect anything?
Very, very slightly, but not really.
Uh-oh, there's more of the ghost wigglers there.
I think I may be able to make the ghost wigglers work for me. Oh, not anymore. Oh, I legitimately did not see that block there. I just assumed because there wasn't a dude on it.
You didn't see the spiky one? Or...
Yeah, the spiky one, because it's a single block. It's like, ah, I'm just looking for the orb boys.
Just looking for those wobbly fellas.
How about that?
Just walk right into it.
It's how you do your laundry. Walk into it.
Use hand on laundry.
I put my hand on my laundry. I shove it in my face. Laundry done.
I put on my wizard hat.
I put on my laundry hat and gloves. No!
Foolish. Yeah, I mean, I fairly certain you can't get up there without dashing, so...
Like this? I am still going, my little guy. I'm going until I finish this area. Which I should be pretty soon. Because I think I'm in the last area before the... I'm on the last checkpoint, I believe.
You have to get up there without dashing.
No, there's a dash refill here. Ugh. But it's...
Well, I saw that, but I don't know how you're gonna get above that without dashing.
I think I have to dash here, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see another way.
Actually, I think I see what I gotta do. There's another wall to the right of the side that has it on it. I think I should be able to do it there. That's probably... Where the black goose supposed to be? Are those eyes? I think it's supposed to be haunted garbage. Since this is the, Mr. Oshiro's, like, hotel area. And it's like, oh, it's really dirty. What's with all this luggage? Why is it so why is there trash everywhere? So I'm assuming it's trash. What waifu? What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm not trash.
What do you talk? Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, okay.
I'm assuming Mulligan didn't, but I don't know if you have another one too.
I don't, as far as I'm aware. I've not been told about it. There we go. Oh, there's another checkpoint. Oh, I think I slightly bumped the spike there. Hey, there we go. Oh.
Damn, did you just do that in one go?
No, it was like 4. But
I wasn't paying attention. This is...
this is bad.
Just walk off the edge and give up.
Considering it. Oh, okay, I held on to it too long. Okay, so I probably have, if I have to guess, I have to dash through there and loop around to that one or the next one. It's definitely doable. I basically did it there. But except I died.
Oh, you know.
You know, small details. Oh. Okay. That's how we're doing this, okay?
Yeah, I just saw that. That's not a...
Measure confidence. I should probably go over instead of under on that one.
Yeah. You got a whole ass bounce to do it.
Yeah. Significantly easier.
Are you just playing like the same levels over and over at this point?
Well, it's a harder version of the original level, yeah. Well, harder version using the same tile set. It doesn't really have like a lot of the gimmicks and exploration that the main level has. It's basically just the platforming challenge. They seem to be shorter.
More like I feel like you literally just did exactly this like 2 weeks ago. Okay, sure.
Ouch.
I literally don't even know.
I've got an idea.
Gravity?
Like the movie?
I don't think you can cling to that wall and then get down fast enough. Maybe diagonal? But I don't know if you can go down diagonally off an edge. Ah, there you go.
Okay. Hmm. Bit too fast. I feel like I could just tap it. Nope, not. Didn't tap long enough. Done. Well, that room anyway.
Alright. Not done with the stream yet. That'd be silly.
Can't beat the game. Seems like you have just to like also Frozen. I don't know who that is. Ah! Elsa from Frozen. What's that? That's her full name. I mean, you can tell me someone's full name. I won't know who it is. Oh, I went too high that time. You're kidding, right? I'm pretty sure that's. Sorry, I'm so dry, Molo guy. No, I've never seen Frozen. I played Kingdom Hearts 3 though, and that has like most of the movie in it, I think. Also, I work a store that has TVs running advertisements for Frozen 2 almost non-stop. What? What? Oh wait, okay, I'm almost there then.
Oh god.
Yeah, this was the boss of
Sudden boss fight, yeah.
yeah, this is Mr. Oshio. He's the boss battle for this chapter. I've heard I probably have heard the full song, but I don't know it. If you get what I mean. I don't remember. I might have muted the TV during that part in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Why?
I don't know.
Just because you didn't want to listen to the song?
Yeah?
I would get it if you were streaming and worried about copyright or whatever, but fucking just playing the game going like, nah, I just don't want to listen to it.
I mean, why would I want to?
That's buck wild.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that this is tanking my bitrate. Considering how low my bitrate is to begin with. Aww. There's even some lower frame rate. The game does purposely slow down for this part, so you can, if you're like near his head when he's dashing, because you can boop him like that.
It almost seems like that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Ah, oh, hey, there's a bounce pad there that I didn't notice.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, also, bouncing on him does refill your dash. Oh. Wait a second, I've got a theory.
Can you craft walk?
No, not that.
Oh, but you're supposed to bounce on his head to get over the top instead of underneath it.
Yeah. I mean, it's working for me, so.
You gotta get through that part real fast, though, I guess.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, let me just get rid of...
If you're on the ground, can you just dash consecutively?
Basically, yeah. If you're in water, you can also dash consecutively. Oh. Aw. Definitely, if I had pattern, can just start mash dashing there. I would have been fine. Yeah. No. Oh, interesting there. No, I was mashing down B. That's probably
The
lame.
Super Smash Brothers.
Because that's my grab button. Oh, real close.
Yeah, I think you have to knock it out and then pretty much immediately go through that
Like,
tunnel into
go.
the next jump point.
Sweet. Nice. Okay, I think what I've got to do there is I have to boop in there.
Yeah, it doesn't need you jump there.
Actually, yeah. I think I might not have to do that. It's good because that's low double. Oh!
Oh,
That was so
sucks.
close. Actually, wait, this might
hope you
not.
don't like touching the ground. Are you trying to outrun him?
I mean, it was working for a little bit. Ah,
Holy
the reason the boss has such you can power my bit rate. Oh no.
shit. Get out of there. Oh, this is worse. Oh, and it's got locks.
Yeah.
That's terrible. This sucks.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Wait. I need to, because I need my dash for that. No! I jumped over it. Wonder if I could boop in there, but it did not seem to be. Oh, not hit it. No. Oh, that's got. Oh, okay, that's gonna be interesting. The lockbox is covered in death. Okay, we're in the clicky room. Which means we're in the last room.
In the what room?
Clicky room. Oh, you can't
What
hear
does
it.
that mean?
It means it's got the blocks in it.
Ah. Oh, that fucking spring fades in and out. That sucks.
Yep. Yeah, but when I say clicky, they've got like a
Oh, those things click
yeah
on and off. Got it.
in the audio you can hear it too.
You can stand on that middle platform, but only once.
I didn't even think about that.
If that will help you. Did I help?
A little bit. I did get all of them. Technically, I can probably make use of it more than once if I do side jumps.
If you land in like different places.
That, and if I just like hold onto the sides. No. Click. I was like right on the edge.
Why are you saving that one on like the upper left for last?
I'm not meaning to.
Because that seems like the hardest one to get. That one was real sketchy.
No!
Oh. I would love to watch Swissy play one of these games.
Yeah? How do you think it would go?
I think he'd be very bad, basically the whole time.
I'm not surprised the Twitch servers are back up now.
A bit late for that for our purposes, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, and I haven't had any dropped frames, according to Streamlabs anyway.
No, the definition is kind of shitty.
Ah!
Which, like, I might be able to fix that on my end, but...
Hmm?
I mean, my definition's set to 720, so...
I didn't even know I was streaming at 720. I thought I was stuck at like 480.
Nope. I mean, the bitrate's real bad, like, don't get it twisted.
Ah.
It's artifacty as all hell right now.
Yeah. So what happens when you're stuck with a provider that's, is a bankrupt?
Yeah.
I can definitely do that.
Why can't you just bounce off the shadow, man?
Oh, there's one there already. I must have landed there.
Yeah, you did. choices you make.
Yeah.
I'm not saying your way is bad necessarily, just perhaps it's suboptimal.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know why this is the order you choose to do things in.
Keep forgetting about the...
The goo.
Yeah.
The wiggly goo.
Yeah. I don't want to end on that
Yeah,
one.
but now you don't have any. Now you don't have it. Yeah, exactly. Like, literally, if you hadn't ended on that one, it would have been so easy. But you had no space left to land after that point. Easy being a relative term. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apparently
You're making
easy.
things unnecessarily difficult for yourself, is what I am saying.
Sounds like me.
And yet you're doing nothing to change this.
You bet. I have a plan.
Do you?
No.
Because despite the fact that you said out loud, this doesn't look like the best place to land, you continue to not get that one.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, are you doing it to spite me? Is that what this
Absolutely not. Why would I ever spite you?
is? See how easy that was?
Got me killed.
Gotta grab that ledge.
But I didn't.
No, but you could have. It wasn't the idea that was bad, it was the execution.
I mean, yeah.
Just saying, burden the entire left side and then not getting the thing that's still on the left is bad.
Maybe.
I don't mean to mansplain this game you're much better at than I am, but like...
Did you know you could jump?
I just want to go to bed, that's all.
It's just, I don't have a good way of getting that left one. I think I know what it is. I'm dashing at an angle instead of directly up. Yeah. It's an issue I've been having like this entire game is that I've been holding like two directions instead of one because like there as soon as I get...
Well, if you hadn't done that, I was about to say, see how much easier that was.
Hey, look at that. Good karma. That's on how many deaths I got. Death count is gonna be over 400. 501.
Fuck.
Bud. So that's 3 out of 8, I think. Or is it 7 or 6? But yeah, thanks for watching tonight. Be back again next week, same time, 11 p.m. Eastern. More Celeste until I get all these crystal hearts. So I can get to the end. Yeah. All clickable links below. Twitter, Discord, Patreon, whatever. Those things. See ya.